ever told you my favorite celebrity sighting story of mine? Really? Can I? Okay, cool. Let me just get you settled in here, bud. I'm sorry I called you bud. That's what I call my cat. Comfy? Oh, okay. Well, so it all started when Casey and I and a group of friends went to Black Rabbit Rose to see a Zane Carney show. So we're waiting for the show to start, standing there in the crowd. Back when that was a normal thing to do. Please get those vackies in your arms so that we can all go to concerts again. Okay, resume story. Anyways, I'm zoned out doing one of my favorite pastimes of all time, people watching. I was peering across the theater when I spotted a familiar face seated at the corner booth next to the stage. I knew immediately who it was. It was the voice actor that made my girlhood tremble. Lane Toran, most well known for voicing Arnold from 1996 to 2001 in the Nickelodeon cartoon, Hey Arnold.
Arnold, you make my girlhood tremble.
I remember getting into a pretty heated argument, honestly, as a kid over who was the cutest cartoon character, and I was Team Arnold, obviously. One of my friends liked the younger version of Simba from The Lion King, and then the other one liked Aladdin from Aladdin. And I had an ironclad argument. I was like, first of all, that's not even a human. And second of all, he's taken, so back off. I didn't win that argument. I mean, my player had a football-shaped head, but it was the personality for me. Arnold was introspective yet expressive. He had his own principles, but he was always inclusive and empathetic. And he was just so low-key and cool as a cucumber, and he had the coolest cartoon bedroom of all time. Anyways, back to the sighting. I was sure it was Lane Toran, 100%. So I turned to my then boyfriend, now husband, and whispered in his ear, "Hey Arnold is sitting in the corner." Which is a confusing statement to spring on someone when they have no context as to what's going on in your head. And Casey was more of a Disney Channel kid than a Nickelodeon kid. So I explained to him, that's Lane Toran, the OG voice of Arnold from Hey Arnold, the 90s Nickelodeon cartoon. Like, what are you not getting? Casey didn't believe me. He was in disbelief that anyone could even recognize voice actors, but I had a coworker at the time who was also a big fan of several voice actors, so I knew, like, I am not the only one. We exist.
There are dozens of us. Dozens!
But Casey was still skeptical, so he looked him up on IMDb, but there's no photos of him on IMDb, and he's not been doing a whole lot of voice acting or acting since, so he was like, how do you even know what he looks like nowadays? Me not really thinking, just purely wanting to prove that I was right, blurted out, because I follow him on Instagram. Casey asks, why do you follow him on Instagram? What's with all the questions? So then I got real quiet, but it eventually came out that I follow him on Instagram because this grew up to look like this. Do I need to illustrate this point any further? Now, typically I am not usually the type to have a celebrity crush. I'm very wary of idealizing people, and especially celebrities, and I'm very sorry, but for the most part I don't really get it. Like, I ask myself, what am I getting out of this, you know? Because it's all about me. What am I getting out of this pining after someone I have a parasocial relationship with? If anything, I'm really just wasting my time. But we all have our little exceptions, don't we? I found this note on my phone that I think explains why Lane Toran is my exception. Let's take it back all the way to December 2nd, 2016, a very bad year for me personally. I don't know about you. I hope your 2016 was great. Anyway, here's the note. I don't have a celebrity crush, but I do have like a C-list celebrity crush. Lane Toran. He voiced Hey Arnold, and he is a dreamboat. And it's perfect because I'm never gonna see bad tabloids or some unraveling scandal about him because he's not really famous. I get to idealize him without any checks and balances going on, and I imagine that he is an idealistic, kind, philosophical voice of reason like Arnold. I'm embarrassed. Is my face red? My face is red. I'm blushing. So be it. I remember one time in high school, a teacher like singled me out during class and accused me of blushing, and I got real honest with everyone and was like, I have so much foundation caked on my face, there's no way. There's just no way. I'm not blushing. If I am, you'll never know. Did you know that the lining of your stomach also turns red when you blush? I don't know why, but fun fact of the video. So Casey may have found out about my little Instagram body, but with Instagram being brought into the arena of the argument, I thought to do some sleuthing because Lane had just posted something to his story. So I clicked it, have a little look-see. Here, have a little look-see. Yes, I screen capped it. This was an event for me, okay? Hey, Justy. You wanna be in the video? Okay. Are you looking at yourself in the mirror? You're beautiful, see? See what I've been telling you? So yeah, I screen capped it. I even may have taken this little photo from afar. That was creepy, I didn't need to do that. Forget about that, just back to the selfie. So let's examine this selfie. This selfie depicted Lane Toran sitting with a friend wearing the same outfits as the people that we could see from our vantage point were wearing. Both people looked a lot like these people in this selfie. Both were in the same location. So in conclusion, Lane looking a lot like the person I said he was, that Casey and all of our friends around us were convinced I couldn't possibly recognize. But to be fair, to those people that doubted me, it's not like celebrity sighting was a known skill of mine. It's not a skill of mine at all. This was the first and second to last celebrity I've ever spotted. I also once saw Earl Sweatshirt at LAX. Working in film, I've like been on set with a lot of people, but I feel like they don't count. They were on the call sheet. Like, that's not a celebrity spotting. I'm just not very observant in that way. 75% due to the fact that I just don't care, and 25% due to the fact that I hardly ever wear my glasses and I rely on body language and gait, like how people walk, to recognize people I know from afar because I am blind. So Instagram story proof, it's him. And I showed it to them and all of their faces just as the show was starting. I was doing my best to pay attention to the show, be a good audience member, but honestly, it really went something like Zane, Lane, Zane, Lane. Oh yeah, Zane, Lane! And then I began to feel really creepy about my just leering behavior. And all the while I was plotting, like, should I go say hi to him? I always thought that if I ever saw a celebrity in public, I wouldn't go say hi to them because just let them live their lives, you know, but it's Lane Toran! Working in film, you never talk to the talent unless that's your job. Be a professional, don't talk to them, and I'm like, I don't want to talk to them anyway, I just want to watch them on TV. But this was Lane Toran, my childhood, adulthood crush. I decided, nah, I'm not gonna talk to him. No, that would ruin the mystery. Like, have you ever been at a concert and the band's like, we'll be at the merch table afterwards if you want to get a picture, a hug, or whatever. And so you go, and you have just like kind of a lukewarm, whatever interaction with them, and that kind of shades how you feel about their music for the rest of forever. And you're like, shoot, I should have never done that. I should have just appreciated them for their art. So I didn't want that to happen. I'm not gonna ruin the good thing we have going, the good thing I have going. But then a new plan begins to form in my mind because Zane Carney's up there playing his little jazzy guitar, like I said, and it gets me thinking more about the show Hey Arnold, because most of it was set to a smooth jazz soundtrack. I get this fun idea. You know how in the theme song of Hey Arnold, it has Helga Pataki yelling, "Hey Arnold!" several times? What if I did that? Would he look over? I just wanted to know. I just want to know if he would look. So before I got carried away and carried out my plan, I looked over to Casey and I was like, what if I yell, "Hey Arnold," across the theater? And he was like, no, don't do that. That probably happens to him all the time. That'd be so annoying. Which I should have said, first of all, we started this whole journey with you thinking that no one can even recognize voice actors or knows what they look like. So that's weird, but I didn't think of that at the time. So instead I was just like, okay, you're right. That'd be immature. I don't want to make a scene. Fine, but it would be so funny. So the show ends. We leave the theater, we're walking outside when I'm like, I got the heat, I gotta go. And so I run back in the theater, I lock my sights on Lane Toran, all gas, no brakes. And then I lose all of my courage and fortitude, and I completely chicken out, and I just walk back out of the theater to go live my life full of regret for having not done it. Yeah, I didn't do it. I know. I'm sorry to you as well. This story would be so much better if I had done it. I know that. Ugh. But I can't lie to you. Anyways, besides baby Alexis having a crush on the main character, that show was so good. It was, and I think still is, my favorite kids cartoon of all time. It was just so perfect and so simple. Just the kind existence of a 9-year-old. I love how that show really delved into the lives of those around Arnold, be it the other kids or adults living in his grandpa and grandma's boarding house. It did a lot to really round out characters and show us why some people are the way that they are. The show didn't shy away from the disappointing facts of life in favor of more energetic, adventurous plot lines. Rather, it embraced the mundane, and it didn't even completely seek to fix or solve the characters' problems. It more so taught us all how to deal with disappointment. The whole series just builds such rich emotional landscapes. Like there's this one episode when Mr. Wynn is reunited with his daughter Mai, and I can't think about it, otherwise I'll start tearing up. I'm doing it, aren't I? Oh my gosh. That episode is just so good. Oh, and like other times, the episode would be the complete opposite, like the urban legend episodes. I cannot watch the episode about the haunted train engine number 9 with the ghost conductor. I can watch the scariest horror movies, docu-series about serial killers by myself in the dead of night, but I cannot bring myself to watch that episode alone. Just thinking about it spooks me. It just hits different. I think that show had a big impact on me in a formative time of my life. I think it instilled in me this hunger for and sense of fairness, and taught me a lot about having empathy for other people and how to deal with disappointments. It's just such a good show. Let's all go watch it. You wanna come over? You can't, I'm sorry. Let me know what your favorite childhood cartoon was, and we can continue this nostalgia fest in the comments. Welp, time to skedaddle. Okay, bye.
Gotta look up, you gotta be strong, you gotta take things as they come. 'Cause everything new that happens to you is better when you look up.